You have an Air Force focus. You can click on top to give you one. Yeah, I'm purposefully not going for focuses right now. Okay, so let me explain this because it's pertinent. I am playing on veteran difficulty, which means I generate less political power anyway. Furthermore, we have decentralized rule, which gives us even less political power, which means if I have a focus, I'm actually going negative in political power. In Kaiserreich, that is a very bad thing because there's a stability system. You can go negative political power, and if you do that, then you start to really lose a lot of industrial power. Now, my industry sucks. They are probably the worst industrial nation I've ever played as, but I don't want it getting any worse. So I don't want to be going into negative political power unless I absolutely have to. I'm also very much expecting various events which will be occurring to hit me even harder. The Nizam Silver Jubilee. Today, the glorious Osman Ali Khan, administrator of the realm and Nizam of Hyderabad, celebrates the 25th anniversary of his ascension to the throne of the ancestral princely state. The golden Asifia banner adorn the streets of Hyderabad states, many cities, and the people revel in the excesses of public funds channeled into festivities. Already one of the richest and most industrialized states of the Princely Federation, today Hyderabad truly shines brightly as a model for the other provinces to follow. Ooh, we got some free stuff. Electoral gridlock in France. The Communion of France is the world's leading syndicalist nation, united as a federation of key communes and directed by the Comment de Salut Public, the chief executive. Yeah, you know when you've done well in Hearts of Iron 4 when you have no navy, no air, and a very weak army. I don't think our army is that weak. I mean, it is one full general, which is more than like Mongolia starts with. And we only have 3 units of militia. Actually, the real test is what are their divisions going to be like? In fact, there's a couple of other things I need to do because you are not all the same unit, clearly. So, infantry can have the infantry thing. Infantry 2 can have the artillery icon. And then police divisions of those. And then cavalry, spelt in a very interesting way. Come on. This kind of thing annoys me. Why can't I rename it? Don't tell me that cost me... No. Why is this not renameable? Well, do we have any cavalry too, I wonder? Let's use the cross things like that. Yes, we do. We have 1. And no artillery units. So you are all... Oh my good lord, I've just noticed. We are missing all the things. We have negative 13,000 guns. Maybe we do need to buy and steal then. And artillery is kind of looking like a bit of a luxury right now. So support equipment. Let's just concentrate on making guns right now. I really don't want to have to be buying in steel, but I think I should probably buy in 1 set. I'm going to buy it from the Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to boost anyone. Alright, let's buy 1 from Germany. Death of Pius XI. All of the Italian Federation mourns the death of His Holiness, Pope Pius XI, who passed away in his sleep after having been in declining health for the past several years. The Holy Father will soon be interred with the rest of his predecessors in the tomb of the popes. Until the next pope can be chosen, the Italian Federation will be ruled by the College of Cardinals in Rome. The succession of His Holiness is made all the more important due to the Catholic Church's role in governing the nation, as well as the vehement opposition to syndicalism, a force which has divided Italy and created the southern breakaway republic. And yeah, if there are events and things which trigger now, I will read them, because I have not seen them before. Likewise, the Ottomans, I'm sure, will have a whole bunch of stuff around them, because they have also now received events and focuses, and I think playing as the Ottomans would be very interesting in this timeline. Because technically they were on the winning side. Bear in mind that the entire premise of Kaiserreich is Germany won the First World War. The Ottoman Empire was on Germany's side, so they were a victor nation. But the Ottoman Empire is still collapsing. Remilitarization of Lusitania. French loyalists restore the monarchy. After a brief French civil war, the old government of France and its supporters fled to North Africa to escape syndicalist wrath. There, the nation eventually devolved into a military junta under the line of Verdun, Philippe Pétain. Alright, cool. We saw that in the French Republic game that we played. They are now the French Empire rather than the French Republic. Makes sense. It's a good way to go. Nobody else has fought yet. The Papal Conclave. It came as a surprise to many to see the white smoke billowing forth from the Sistine Chapel today, signifying that a new pope had been elected in Rome. A hastily assembled Papal Conclave announced the succession of Theodore Cardinal Initzer, a true political player and a staunch opponent of syndicalism, as His Holiness Pope Julius IV. It is rumoured his election was prompted due to pressure from the Austrian Empire to restore the Italian monarchy, and thus signifies a worsening of relations with both the Austrian government as well as the Southern Socialists. So they are really going isolationist here, which is interesting. Okay, cool. Now, if we get enough political power, do we want to... We can't go up in that. Volunteer army with 1 million men. I love this fact. This is fantastic. We could potentially get an industrial company. That does increase construction speed. Or we can start on a focus. We probably should. Actually, this is a good point. We have good artillery, which is cheaper of that, which isn't amazing. Those seem pretty standard. Infantry equipment manufacturing, so our infantry will be better. Then all of you should be authoritarian democrat. Yes, you are. So we can have any of these commanders. Schmacky 5, thank you very much for the follow, and also Hacksaw 1, which I think I missed just before the stream started. Thank you also for the follow. So we are probably going to go with mass combat. Infantry, division, attack and defense, recruitable population. Are there any more of those? There are 2 of them that we can take. And then probably fire support. Although there are several defense guys that we could go... In fact, there's 4 of them. Defense means land fort, coastal, anti-air, construction speed faster. We would have 45% max entrenchment. And 75% faster entrenchment speed. And division organization will be increased by 15%. I think we'll probably go mass combat, fire support. Artillery attack and defense 15%. Although we could also go psychology times 3, which would give us 30% more division organization. Our armies would be extremely tough. And that's generally more useful than School of Defense, because I'm not intending to build any of land forts and things. And entrenchment is only useful if you really are on the defensive. But organization and recovery rate, that's pretty strong. Going for 3 of those. Interesting. But I think it probably is now time to go for a focus. So we could go for the Air Force, which just gives us air bases, as one of the commenters was talking about this. I don't think it's quite... Whoa! Production cost reduction for Rule the Skies. Interesting. And the naval track is actually built into the industrial. So they don't have their own track. That's interesting. Or we could initiate military reforms. And we get a whole bunch of land forts if we did that. Planning speed, increased division organization, even more than division training time. Or unity, political power, and division recovery rate. How long till the USA get their focus? Which one? Yeah, they already have the focuses. Sorry, that's what you mean. Yeah, they already have them. That's why this update is called Pax Americana. So all 5 of the US successor states have it. So the American Union State, the United States, the United Syndicalist Communes, Pacific States, and New England. Knowledge. We still can't get addressing the council, though. I think we're going to go with new construction methods, and we'll start trying to industrialise if we can. The first International Congress, representatives from numerous syndicalist and socialist nations, have gathered in Paris today in what might be a defining moment in the history of ideologies. And what direction is England going? They are still syndicalist. Oh yeah, I wanted to have a look at the German tree, because this has been updated. Okay, the German tree is quite a lot bigger now. Used to be about half this size. Imperial restructuring, organising the youth, Christian trade unions, Babelsberg. Democracy? Democracy? Not in my Germany. Ban French organizations. I approve of that one. Is Elise watching? Then here's the industrial aftermath of the Black Monday, which is supposed to have added more stuff to it, but from what I've seen from reports, has actually made recovery a little bit easier. Kaiser Wilhelm Society, that's technology and... yeah, it's mostly tech. And then more production stuff. That doesn't seem to have changed at all. Economic boom. Ooh, nice. And these ones are interesting. This allows you to basically build the German Maginot Line against France, which is something they were missing before. Because in the game's lore, they had actually built it during the 1930s and then let it crumble away. And this basically allows you to restore it. Alsace-Lorraine, Modern War. Actually, what national focuses or national spirits do you start with? Victors of the Weltkrieg, quenched militarism, colonial upkeep, oil shipments from Romania, profits from legation, Brest-Litovsk, and Black Monday. So aftermath, that's Air Force. This is naval improvements and colonial improvements. I'm interested in the German one because I want to do a German one at some point. State of the economy. Going with... no, this is interesting. You have to choose between Krupp, Mauser or Siemens. And this also would unlock the industrial company for that. And those three are very powerful from what I remember. Like really big bonuses. So it's probably a good thing they spread them out. Where's the military recovery? Remove national spirit, quenched militarism. There, that's where it is. And then is there a renewed militarism anywhere? Not that I can see. Actually, it would probably be in the military area, wouldn't it? That would make sense. Militarist revival, renewed militarism. There it is. Okay, so yeah, Germany hasn't changed that much, but they have changed it a bit. How long till you try the beer hall putsch in Britain? You mean how long till I actually play as Britain? I started to, and then they did an update, and then I never returned to it. So I should do that at some point, for sure. This is the Austrian focus tree. I don't think this has actually changed yet. They did say that a lot of the bugs that the game is currently suffering through is because they wanted to update the Austrian tree. They got halfway done with it, so yes, it will be slightly changed. But this is not the final version. In the next hot patch, or hot whatever it's called, they will be updating the Austrian, so don't take this as final, which is why I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. I thought Austria is another nation that I would quite like to check out at some point. Alright, you lot are training nicely. We are still making some guns. How many are we making now? 6 a day. Next question. How many resources... do we have any steel in our country? No. Great. We have the steel from Madras and that's it. We have to go after the Bharat Commune for steel. Oh wow, Dominion of India has nothing. They have tungsten and a tiny bit of oil. We have more than they do. We have chromium though. Chromium, tungsten and rubber. That would actually behoove a more mechanized military than I was planning on. Lacking steel though, that's harsh. Like none. I wonder if they've fixed the steel economy yet, because steel generally runs out in this. It's called a sexy patch. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kaiserreich should totally be really high up in your list. Kaiserreich, like, I like Great War Mod. I think it was good. I like where they are going with it. But Kaiserreich just goes so much further. So much further. Russia went Soviet. Interesting. And apparently has not had a civil war. So they took the easy way out. Now please tell me that they have fixed their stability. It doesn't look like it. No. Soviet Union's going to be horrifically powerful. This is one of the things I don't like about this mod. There are two ways of becoming Soviet. One of them is through civil war, which is really interesting with the Russian Civil War actually. I like that. It doesn't happen enough. Or you can choose the Go Soviet focus. And usually by the time you actually get to it, your economy is just annihilated. You're at like minus 1,000 political power, and it just resets the lot. Vroom, gone. All the problems that you were having just gone. And you've got a fully united, totally powerful state. I really wish it had some time to recover from those problems that you have been going through. It just seems too much of just a switch going off. I don't like that. Nicholas Iglace elected as chairman of the TUC, so we're going to be seeing an independent Scotland and Wales here. Trade Union Congress and the Union of Britain is made out to be decisive. Long-term chairman of the TUC, Philip Snowden, declared his resignation, causing the four major factions of the Union, the Maximus, Autonomists, Federationalists and Congregationalists, to butt heads over the position. So that's going to be a weakened Britain as well. So a strong Soviet Russia and a weakened Britain. Depends if the Soviets join the Internationale, which they probably will. In which case Germany is kind of screwed. Now here's some of the new stuff. The Arab Congress, the Arab revolt in the Red Creek, was a failure, mostly due to the defeat of the Entente, with millions of Arabs living in the Levant. And Iraq stayed under Ottoman rule. Despite this, though, Arab nationalism has been on the rise for many years. I wonder where we've seen this before or world news. Now that's a bug, which has been reported. Radical socialists, UOB. Yeah, that's true. They are. Alright, let's see what these guys are all about. Radical socialist. Radical socialism is a catch-all phrase for the various socialist, communist and anarchist ideologies that weren't directly associated with syndicalism. Countries with this ideology operate with a socialist economy, usually accompanied with some kind of democratic form of government. Their ultimate goal is to create a paradise for the working class, the details of which varies from movement to movement. So Leninism basically is radical socialism. Okay. Elise Moi, you missed something. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, Germany has an amazing focus for you. I think you'll really like this one. So the German tree has changed, and they can ban French organisations. Just gone. Bye-bye, France. I thought you'd approve of that little addition there. Alright, political power is no longer ticking up. It is in fact going down. We do have construction methods. However, we can't get this until we have construction 1, which shouldn't be too far off. 67 days. Which we could get a focus in the meantime. We could start some of the army reforms. Because nothing else is available yet. Or we could save political power and not get anything. I think we will start the army reforms. Our army is in poor shape, cobbled together from the forces of various princely states, none of whom are accustomed to working together. We must begin efforts to unite them towards our common goal. You mean Underlord. One currency for Mittel Europa. That's probably just going to be the Reichsmark, honestly. What was that? I'm not seeing that. Where's that? Oh, there. So Flanders, the Baltics, Lithuania, Ruthenia and Ukraine all get single German currency. Oh yeah, I know how you guys like playing these games of general knowledge. There is a country in the EU, sorry, let me rephrase that. There is a country in Europe which is not in the EU but does use the euro. Which is it? Right, so we can get concentrated industry now, which I think we want to do. There's no reason to go dispersed. I don't like that twin track. Like, I don't think I've ever chosen dispersed industry. Ever. They need to make these different somehow. I don't know exactly how, but they do. Norway does not use the euro. I don't think it's Iceland. I might be wrong, it's not the only country. But it's certainly the one that I found out about today. It's not Montenegro, it's not the Papal States, it's not Monaco. You're thinking the right way. Andorra, nope. Middle Earth. No. You guys trained yet? Yes, you are. Interesting. Right, let's move you guys out. Then once the army reforms are done, we'll probably be switching your troops around a little bit, or your division templates around a bit. But until then, we'll continue going. The Swiss, nope. Switzerland, nope. Liechtenstein, nope. I mean, I'm going to have to double check these and see if any of them are actually true, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Montenegro use it because they don't have their own. It's probably the same with the state that I'm thinking about. White peace. No change. Sometimes white peace actually means that one of them gobbles up something from the other. Kind of surprising because I'm pretty sure the Dominion of India were winning there. But okay, I think that one's relatively scripted. The one country between France and Spain that no one ever remembers, that's Andorra. No. Zealand? No. Here we go, construction 1. It's not yet 37, so we're not going to get that. We could get excavation, but I don't really see any reason for it. Synthetic oil. We don't produce our own oil, but we do produce rubber. I'm not really convinced that we're going to have a lot of use for oil. Oh, yeah, we need weapons 1. Finland, nope. Finland's in the EU. Initiate army reforms is now complete. Her army is in poor shape, cobbled together from... I've read that already. Aha! Osman addresses the council is now available. Oh, it's 1st of June. I was reading this January. I would also really like to start on this one. No, we're going to do the addressing the council. A special session of the Princely Council has been planned, and it is expected that the gathered princes will present a plethora of reforms to the Nizam, reforms that are likely intended to put more power in their hands and perhaps even open up positions on the council to those outside the aristocracy. It is a bold plan, though some are nervous as to whether the Nizam will agree. So we are probably going to accept them, but then we'll unite the princes. So what are these ones? Dissolving the council. He becomes a paternal autocrat. So we are no longer a princely federation. We're a monarchy. We replace rebellious princes with decentralized rule, which gives more political power, more national unity, and division recovery rate. And then decentral rule is changed for... Oh, I see. One of these replaces decentralized rule with rebellious princes, and then rebellious princes back to decentralized rule, and then from that to Father of the Confederation. Which is pretty strong. But I think I'm going to go with Unite the Princes. We're going to keep the Princely Federation alive, because they are, after all, what has maintained Indian identity here. Finland, no. Ireland, no. Greece, no. San Marino! All the thumbs up today to Butter569. It is indeed San Marino. San Marino is not in the EU, but they do use the euro. It's an interesting story, actually. Malta's been independent since like 16 something. When Garibaldi united Italy, loads of the Unity people, while they're being persecuted, fled to San Marino and found sanctuary there. So when Garibaldi united Italy, he offered them to remain independent, and they were like, yep, we want to stay independent. And then during Mussolini's reign, they had their own fascist power, their own fascist party, but were not part of Italy then. And they were not in the Second World War either. They were neutral. Though they did get bombed a couple of times because the Allies were convinced that they were harbouring enemies. So chances are they probably weren't. San Marino is a joke Italian city-state, much worse than Venice, removed from the map. That may be so, but Venice is part of Italy. San Marino is not. And for some reason, when you talk about the people of San Marino, they're called San Marinians, like spelled S-A-M-M. Arino. Here we go. Osman addresses the council. Today, the Nizam of Hyderabad, Osman Ali Khan, met with the Council of Princes as they presented to him what they believed to be a fair and just package of reforms, namely that the power of the council would be consolidated into a national Diwan, elected from among their number, and that the Diwan would assume the primary responsibility for restoring rule over the remainder of India. So far, it is uncertain whether the Nizam will accept these proposals, or whether he would look on them as erosion of his own personal authority. There are many, after all, who believe that the Nizam himself should act as Diwan, and others that say the position should be subject to national elections, as should the positions of the council itself. I will consider the advice of the council.